Okay, we're rolling. So this is gonna be the rawest video I've done. Probably. It's very random, but I'm just feeling like in the mood to rant. So it's 3 a.m. and I was literally trying to fall asleep, but I got this idea to shoot this video. So here we are. And I remember Michael Jackson, I think, was saying that whenever even if it's 3 a.m. or something like that, even if I do get an idea, like whenever I get an idea, I have to go in and I have to record that idea because otherwise I fear that Prince is gonna steal that idea. And I thought that was pretty cool. Hopefully this mic isn't like way too loud, but um yeah, essentially the title is probably gonna be something like you have to be delusional to have success in business, essentially. And this is most likely going to be a yapping session for anyone willing to listen, and hopefully you're going to get some value out of this. But I'm at this stage in business, so I'm building, if you're new to the channel right now, like I'm building a consulting business, helping essentially creators and experts scale their brands. And I'm at the stage right now in business where things are starting to go, and I still have way long to go, and I have like a long way to go and like a lot of things to learn. But I'm at that stage in business where you have days when it literally feels like nothing is happening at a surface level and things move slow. And I just realized like you have to be so delusional if you truly want to build something. And especially when you build something from scratch, a lot of people don't get this. Like when you build something from scratch as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, you have to be delusional to the point where even in the days when nothing is you feel like nothing is working, you still tell to yourself that you still tell yourself that, look, I'm on the right path and this is gonna work. This, like, I'm doing the right thing. Because let me tell you, like, man, if you're not the number one fan of what you're doing, nobody's gonna like, first of all, nobody's gonna come save you, right? So I had this idea in my mind for a long time, like, you know, why as an entrepreneur, like, why is this road like so lonely, and why does no one seem to truly understand what I'm going through sometimes as a creator, as an entrepreneur? But I've come to realize all of this, like the loneliness and feeling like you're literally going insane. I don't even know if this is making sense what I'm yapping right now because it's literally 3 a.m. But some days, it just feels like it doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? Like you're trying to build something and you have this constant feeling of uncertainty, like the constant feeling of, am I actually doing the right thing? And for the longest time, I wonder, like, why is this feeling of like loneliness so pressing? And it's not that it's like physical loneliness. I mean, more like this idea that nobody truly gets it unless you communicate with people that are already building a business. And what I want to say with this is that for anyone like going through it, it literally comes with a dinner. That's something that I always tell my clients. Like, it comes with the dinner. The lonely nights at 3 a.m. when you're wondering like, what the fuck am I doing? The long days in which you put in 10 hours a day, like 8 hours, whatever, but it feels like, again, on the surface level nothing is happening. And that's why I want to touch on this idea that in those moments when it's super low, when it's like you're literally feeling like you're going insane, in those moments those are the moments in which you're tested as an entrepreneur. Those are the moments in which you have to give yourself the grace, and you also have to believe in yourself to the point where, again, you're like delusional. Like, from the outside looking in, it seems like you're literally crazy, but it doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, you know that what you're building is something fucking amazing. And this is like, again, this is what I'm going through personally. Like, I'm building Unlock Creators, the essentially our inner circle and the consulting business, working with amazing people. And I'm not gonna lie, like, you know, money aside and numbers aside and wins aside, you do get a lot of these nights and days where, again, nothing, like, it seems like nothing really makes sense, or it seems like no matter how many wins you get, like, you still have the uncertainty of, like, have I done enough, or, like, am I good enough to do this? And this whole, like, imposter syndrome and whole, like, all of this, what it is, it's actually fucking bullshit in the minds. And again, it just comes with the dinner. As an entrepreneur, it comes with the fucking dinner. But it's on you as the entrepreneur and as the creator to essentially take all of this and use it as fuel, and understand that this is all part of the process. Uncertainty is part of the process as much as the wins are a part of the process. This feeling like, you know, it might not work, or it might not work to the degree that you were hoping it would work. This is just part of this whole thing called entrepreneurship, essentially. And what I'm seeing is, as a common thing, is like, people that can, people that have a like a really high uncertainty tolerance and stress tolerance, those are going to be usually the most successful individuals. And I've been like that all my life. Like, it's literally 3 a.m. and I'm yapping about this, but having the delusional confidence that it's gonna work and what I'm building is amazing is what I've literally applied all of my life. There's this song from Russ. I think it's called like Outlaw or something like that, like, where it says, like, listening to doubt never worked for me, but listening to my arrogance did. And it's literally what I've embodied throughout the years. Before business, I'm not going to get into it now, but before business, I used to do music. So I was a recording artist, like an independent recording artist. And then I literally went from that to, it's like I lived five lives. Like, I worked as a graphic designer. I dropped out of college, invested tons and tons of energy, money, and time into music, into the music career. But then I stopped, and then I went into business, grew multiple businesses, scaled to six figures, and now essentially I dropped all of that, and I'm building the personal brand and the consulting business. And throughout all of these things, the delusional confidence is what kept me going. The delusional belief that what I'm doing is literally the best thing on earth. Even though, in my mind, there might be like some moments in which, my brain doesn't fully like believe that, you know what I mean? But it doesn't fucking matter. Like, it doesn't matter, because essentially, again, you have to be the number one fan of what you're doing. And the whole reason why I'm recording this is that hopefully it's going to reach someone that is going through a period of like doubting, or is having a rough day, thinking like, what the fuck am I doing here? Because, again, like, I have some days personally in which work is amazing. I'm literally about to have a client call in a couple of hours from now, which is going to be pretty early for me, but um I have some days where things are amazing, but again, it's still that uncertainty that you don't know for sure that 1000% of every single move and every single decision you make as a business owner is the right one. And so that uncertainty can literally drive you insane some days. And it used to drive me wild. Like, it used to drive me absolutely like crazy back in the day. Now it's gotten way better. Um, but again, the delusional confidence and the delusional belief that what I'm building is the best thing kept me going. Because obviously the world tells you to be humble and not boast too much and stuff like that. But man, I would say that as an entrepreneur, you have to, and you can do this in private, but you have to tell yourself that you're literally the most amazing coach, creator, and it's just like in, because when I used to do like when I was doing music, I was doing rap as well. Um, and I'm a fan of like sports and stuff, and so it's the same thing where like you don't look at like how Kobe was, and like Kobe wasn't humble. He was out to be the best. So that's how you gotta, like, that's the mindset that you have to apply in business. It's like, I'm the best, even in the days when you feel shitty. I have shitty days. I have days in which I don't, I don't think of myself like, oh, I'm the most amazing, but like I take a step back and I try to like literally brainwash myself into thinking that I am amazing, I am the best, even in the low moments. Because unless I'm doing that, to be honest, who else is gonna fucking do that? Right? Who else? I made a video a while back called something like "No one is coming to save you," and it's the same thing here. It's like, no one, when you're the business owner, when you're the CEO, when you're the founder, right? You have to, and I got this from one of my mentors. Like, he told me, like, it's like Superman and Clark Kent, right? You constantly have to show up as Superman, and in private you can be Clark Kent all you want, right? Like, but when you're working with clients, when you have employees, when you cannot like really complain, and you cannot expect anyone to like truly save you, right? So you have to essentially be there for yourself at 3 a.m., right? You have to be there for yourself in the low fucking moments, because no one is going to do that for you. No one. No one. And I know so many entrepreneurs, so many creators go through months and months and months of doubt, of trying to build something from scratch, going against the wave, and thinking again, like, does any of this make sense, right? And even when you do get the success, when you do get the numbers, because it happened to me, when you do get the money, it's like you're still wondering. And that's only normal, and that's human, and you have to understand that every single person is going through periods like this. But what matters is you keep that belief and you keep that faith, in terms of, okay, I might not know the next step, I might not know every single, like, I might not have the map with like every single step of the way mapped out, clearly mapped out, but I'm still gonna push forward. I'm still gonna continue to put in the work. I'm still gonna build. I'm still gonna build, even though some days I might doubt it, even though some days are shitty. Because you know what? If you want certainty, if you want like a predictable sort of routine and stuff, just go get a 9 to 5 job. That's what I'm telling everyone. It's like creating content, growing a personal brand, growing a consulting business, coaching business, and helping hundreds of people, if not millions of people, like get amazing results. That's not for everyone. That is not for everyone. And some people, to some people, the uncertainty might be like so heavy, and the faith and the self belief might not be there, that they essentially quit. They quit. And it happens to, that's what you also got to keep in mind. That literally happens to so many fucking people in this exact moment. Someone just quit. It's 3 a.m. for someone else, and someone else went into a spiral, whatever negative thoughts, and they fucking quit. They fucking quit. So that's also like, regardless of the industry you're in, regardless of what you're trying to build, keep that delusional confidence, keep that laser focus, forget the shiny object syndrome, and just go after what you are building. Just one more day, put in one more day. I literally, and I say this to everyone, and especially my clients, last year, I think it was in February or something like that, like March last year, so 2024, I was trying to grow my personal brand on Instagram. And it was essentially, I had this like week, like shitty fucking week, in which I was asking myself, like, again, does this even like make sense? Like, should I just stop this completely? Because nothing was working at the time. Like, this was super early. So I was posting content, nothing was working. And then I had one day when I was just like, should I quit? I think I should quit this. And then I didn't. And then literally 7 days later, I fucking blew up. I went viral. And essentially from that point, like, the rest is history. Like, my whole life changed. And now we're here. And I still got so, like, I got a long way to go still. But again, what I'm trying to tell you is, in those moments, you're going to be tested. When you hit rock bottom mentally and even physically, like, you're going to be tested so much. You're going to be tempted to jump ship. You're going to be tempted to say, the grass is greener on the other side. I got to switch industries. I got to do whatever the fuck. But, like, no, say fuck that and stick to the plan. So I do not know how long this video is. I think it's like 20 minutes. Um, I'm probably gonna stop the rant right now and try to get some sleep. But again, similar to Michael Jackson with Prince, I didn't want to let this idea, I don't know, get stolen by anyone else. But yeah, it's not even about that. It's just like sharing these things, because I think so many of us as creators, as entrepreneurs, especially as content creators, like, there's such a weird thing when you're creating. You got people watching, you got clients, you got like all of this validation, but some nights, man, like, your mind can still fuck with you. And again, I think also what I'm trying to tell you is, whatever idea you get, allow yourself the space and allow yourself the chance to put it out there, because you never know. Like, I've had, I think, thousands of people at this point DM me and tell me, like, man, the content that you posted, that reel that you posted, that video, that thing that you said, whatever, like, it helped me so much. And you might underestimate the power of speaking your thoughts on camera just like this, and literally putting it out there in the world for the world to see. You might underestimate that, but I'm here to again tell you that having the delusional confidence sometimes that what you're creating is the best thing will unlock some doors for you that you haven't even thought about before. And yeah, that's that's the video for the night. I love these yapping sessions. Hopefully it was something valuable here. Trying to get some sleep. You do the same if you're watching this at like 4 a.m. And I'll see you in the next one.